Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, the 7th of December. I want to talk about a verse that is in the prophets, and that is Isaiah, and that is 45, verse 3, where the Lord says, And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places. And I really think that the old prophets in the Old Testament, when they said Lord, when they said God, they were not looking outside of this world. I really believe they were not stretching their consciousness out into another dimension, but they were actually connected to what is here and the treasures of what is here. Jesus himself knew the treasures of what was here. Satan says, I will give you all these things, and then the pastors will tell you, oh, no, he rejected that. No, he didn't. In his miracles and stuff, those were the treasures of this world, the possibilities contained in this world. And then he decided to stretch out into another dimension, to go to a different kingdom, because why, wasn't good enough? I don't know. Would be good enough for me. Anyway, so what is in the old prophets? Jeremiah, I have to look there, it's on my cupboard. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. It's this world, in this world. Another one, Isaiah. Yeah, the story of Isaiah, where he comes to a river to rest. Yeah, and he has got water to drink, and the ravens bring him food. Again, there's a connection to nature, and nature's being of service to Isaiah. So really, I think it is a mistake to go too far out. And the other thing is, obviously, that I believe what we perceive as distance, further out from us, another possibility that is far out. What is distance is the more different it becomes from us, the more distance it is from us. Kabbalah speaking of equivalence of form, the more things are the same, the closer they are to each other. And then if you bring knowledge from far out, as Jesus did, from something that is completely different from us, would that serve here then, or would that be destructive for us? It may work there, but would it work here? Anyway, I wanted to talk about the treasures of the darkness, which many would probably go and say, oh, that's evil. It's coming out of the darkness, it's evil. Give meanings to words. And darkness and light, not meaning good or bad, but meaning knowing and not knowing. I'm in the dark, I do not know. Now, of course, if we are dependent on, like when we experience darkness in this world, and we are fully dependent on our five senses, especially our eyes, we are afraid in the dark because we cannot see. It creates fear. What we do not know creates fear. And then we may associate it with bad, but actually what it means is we do not know. Even the physical experience of the darkness, you don't know that is the baseline. You know, there might be something dangerous in the darkness, but you don't know. So that is really the word darkness meaning not knowing, the word light meaning knowing, and knowing meaning experiencing it. It has become a solid reality, then you know. You full on know. Before that, the material and the spiritual are separated. You know, you reason about something, but that means it's still up in the clouds, it's still up somewhere. It's not yet a reality in this world. It's when the now and the spiritual come together, it creates a solid reality, and then you know. So there are treasures in the darkness, treasures that you do not know. And here comes the way of enlightenment, yeah, or an enlightened way, or the way to create light, create a knowing. So I show you the treasures of the darkness. I show you something you do not know. Now, if you go the way of making things known based on your own knowing, and that is based on the rational mind of the five senses, and you go really linear of what is possible next, yeah? And I've done that. I mean, I'm doing it all the time. Especially when it comes to finances. You know, the rational mind knows, you know, it can count. It knows what it is needed, it can count, and it knows you're sunk. And then you make that a knowing. You make that a certainty. You're going toward that point, based on the knowing of the rational mind. And you will go there. If you make that a knowing, you will go there. Somebody said to me, you know, that this world is absolutely horrible, and I always knew it would end badly for me. And I thought, yeah, that's the point. You always knew. And for me, so often, you know, when I do these things, you know, I count up my numbers. It reaches a point of certainty. And then I just hear, you know, that is what you know. There are other possibilities. And I'm sitting here saying, well, show me something then that I don't know. Show me something I don't know. Show me something that is in the darkness. A possibility that I do not know. But then, honestly, you have to overcome the rational mind, you know, and you cannot make that a certainty. That's the thing. And myself, and I would say so many others, they make that a certainty. And although there's something else there that wants to give to you the knowledge of something else, it just can't get through. Because you're standing in your certainty. Now, another thing I thought about concerning this is, and I just listened to Greg Braden, and he has this wonderful idea about the Torah and the Torah codes. And that the Torah codes are actually an ever-shifting matrix. Yeah, it's never still. And that every time choices are being made, the entire matrix will shift. Yeah? But, I mean, at some point, there is a point where a future is locked in place. Yeah, where you're that close to it that the shift can no longer occur. You're just going there. It's like it's coming closer, and then it's, you know, that's it. It's locked in place now. And I think that is one of the problems with being shown the treasures of the darkness. because they can only be shown when they're at a point where there can be a certainty. That means you have, and that is really the thing, going deeper into the darkness to see the light, which I always thought was complete nonsense, but maybe it is not. Yeah, that you need to be very, very close to the point where that can happen. And then it gets harder and harder and harder to overcome the rational mind. You know, so you're going deeper into the darkness, you're going further and further to the point where you know things will go by up. But the other way may only be shown at the last moment. When that possibility is locked into, close enough that can lock into place. And maybe that is then what's, those that hold out to the last moment, to the end, they will be shown. But at the moment we're going, this world is going by the light of the rational mind, especially those that are full on materialistic. And those that call themselves also spiritual are going too far out. They're not looking what is right in front of their nose, or that this is a spiritual place, and that there are treasures hidden in the darkness. Just one more time, if you go just by your rational mind, that is to say, you are illuminating every step, and it becomes a reality. And you go in a straight path that is just being made out of action and consequences. Yeah? And if you have tunnel vision on that, there are possibilities all along the path which you cannot see, because they are not illuminated inside of you. And again, that's what this talks about. I will give you something that you do not know, that is not illuminated by your 5 sense rational mind. And again, that would mean that we are not trapped. Or the only thing that traps us is ourselves, if we don't allow for those possibilities, but we insist on our own known. Two last things I want to say. One is, one more thing, and that is the moment of certainty. And I've said that in my last video. What does that feel like? How do you know? Actually, I do know what that feels like. I cannot think of a future and feel certain about that. And it's probably because it isn't just yet. Because the bloody thing is shifting all the time. And that is not only created by me, but by everybody. So I don't actually have any control over that. But I know those moments of certainty, and you probably do as well. You know that moment where really you know something is about to happen, or somebody's going to call, or something, or you should do something at this moment. So I know the moments of certainty. And, the next thing is why I'm saying these things. Now, I am trying. I am trying very hard. I made a video, that would be 2 deleted channels ago. And I was talking about these team building exercises, that they do. And how to build trust, and where they have this thing where you have to close your eyes and you have to let yourself fall backward, and a teammate is behind you to catch you, and you would have to trust your teammate to catch you. And I said, no way, no how. Ain't gonna happen. I don't have that level of trust, especially not if there's a person behind me. And then I said, and I can still hear myself, but if it were God who would stood behind me, I would do it. Right, okay, let's see if I can put my money where my mouth is. Trying very hard. But there's another reason why I'm saying these things. I mean, for myself, I wouldn't say it if I weren't thinking that is correct. But knowing it is correct does not mean you can do it. There are two different things. It is works to get there, to be able to do that. So the other reason why I'm saying this is if somebody else has not thought of this or thought of this in this way and might come into agreement, even though if I not manage to do it, somebody else might. And good for him if he does. Or she does. So that is one of the reasons, maybe the main reason why I'm doing this. And maybe if people can work this and can speak out of knowing rather than with me, it is still theory, it's out in the ether, it hasn't quite come to earth yet. So if people could start talking from certainty, that would help others. Anyway, I leave it at this for today. As I said, I leave this for your consideration and see what you think about that. Is that something that you would want to try? And if anybody ever succeeds, please let me know. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.